And tonight in Raleigh County, where developments have been made in a decades-old cold case involving a missing 10-year-old girl and her mother. We reported on Friday that 82-year-old Larry Webb had been arrested in connection to this case. This following a federal search of his property on Kyle Lane in Beckley. Our Galen Markham visited that neighborhood today and brings us more from residents as well as from those directly involved on this case.
It's been just shy of 24 years since 10-year-old Natasha Alex Carter and her mother Susan Carter disappeared without a trace. For decades, their case has sat cold, but now major moves have been made in the hopes of finding answers. Last week, search teams with the FBI, West Virginia State Police, and U.S. Marshals were at the residence of 82-year-old Larry Webb at 126 Kyle Lane in Beckley.
We had a search warrant to look for the remains of Susan and Natasha Carter.
Webb was indicted for Alex's murder back in October after police recovered a bullet from his home that held traces of her DNA. However, Webb's age and declining health played a role in the delay of his arrest. Hatfield disclosed on Monday that Webb has been held in a medical facility since last year. During this time, doctors have been working to medically clear him so that he could be incarcerated. That clearance was issued last week, and Hatfield says no time was wasted in transporting Webb to jail.
It certainly feels like we've checked off a big task on the to-do list with the case, which isn't usually a big task. It feels like, okay, now we can move on to a few other items on the to-do list with the case.
Beckley Deputy Chief of Police David Allard was the officer who took Webb into custody on Friday. He's giving more insight into the collaboration it took to make that arrest a success.
Knowing what we were going into, knowing the potential issues that he had medically and that he had been in a medical facility, that it was going to take some work to get this done. You know, anytime there's a child involved, this is something where everybody comes together and works as a team on the highest level, and that's what happened in this case. That's ultimately what culminated in his arrest on Friday.
Following Webb's arrest, I made my way to Kyle Lane to speak to neighbors about this ongoing case. While all of them declined to go on camera, they say they are shocked by the news of Webb's arrest and his potential involvement in Alex and Susan's disappearance. Most of the residents on the street have lived there for decades. They tell me they never dreamed their close-knit neighborhood would be rattled by something so sinister. Here for you in Beckley, I'm Galen Markham, WVVA News.
Thank you for that update, Galen. At the time of his arrest, Webb was taken to Southern Regional Jail in Beckley, and we were informed this morning that he has since been transported to Mount Olive Correctional Complex. Those with the West Virginia Division of Corrections say Mount Olive has more appropriate facilities to handle Webb's current medical state. Stay with WVVA as this is a developing story. And staying in